make kombucha at home. All right, hi everybody, it's Kaylee. Today we're going to do our batch of kombucha, our ferment 1. So just the fermentation, we're not going to talk flavoring or anything yet. I don't want to overwhelm you. And plus, this first batch of kombucha probably will take 2 to 3 weeks. So in your kits, you have your nice laminated instruction sheet, because I know you're going to be in the kitchen splashing water and stuff around. It's just nice to have laminated. Here we go, we got everything to make kombucha. Really all you need is SCOBY, about 1 or 2 cups, which is the starter liquid, some really acidic liquid, kind of like a sourdough starter, but kombucha, and then the mother, the SCOBY inside of it, tea bags or loose leaf tea, and 1 cup sugar. Obviously your brewing vessel, glass is best. Let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna wanna have is 4 cups of water boiling. I got my 4 cups of water boiling here. So all you do is you have your tea bags, you put them in your jar, and you pour your 4 cups of water right inside your jar. I think the easiest way is with these electric kettles. And while I'm talking, I'm going to just let this steep, not timing it. I'm not getting, scientific with it. Just let it steep. I think I write 8 minutes on there, 8 to 10 minutes. It's not rocket science. Just make sure all my tea bags are submerged in here. So now that we have our water and tea boiling, steeping, let's talk about our ingredients. The type of tea I used and that I gave you 4 green tea bags and 4 black tea bags. And I think tea bags at home are just the easiest way to do it. You can do it down and sturdy, you can go to Meijer or Kroger and get 100 tea bags for like $2.99. You could do the Newman's Organics ones, the Meijer brand, the Kroger brand. It doesn't really matter, but you do need to stick with just green tea or black tea. I'm thinking if you do green tea, maybe do a couple more tea bags, but you want something from the Camellia sinensis plant, something that's going to have caffeine and something that is not flavored. A lot of teas are flavored with oils and things, and you just want it easy to digest from the SCOBY. So a black tea, a green tea is your first ingredient. We're all good with that. Second ingredient is sugar. I have given you just a regular table sugar. That is the easiest for the SCOBY to digest. You can do the organic sugars, the cane sugars, beet sugars, fine. Or once again, going back to the down and dirty, you could go to the dollar store and get the sugar off the shelf there. The SCOBY will eat most of the sugar, all of the sugar almost, during fermentation. So people want to, get crazy or be like, I want low sugar and want to do stevia or something. No, the SCOBY needs sugar. It eats the sugar. You will not be consuming that much sugar. Maybe later on in the road, you can experiment with a syrup or a honey, although those are different products. You could take a SCOBY and start a different batch with one of those. But right now, just don't get too crazy with your tea and your sugar. Those are the 2 most important things. And then water. I just used water from my fridge. It doesn't have to be filtered. It doesn't have to be distilled. You don't have to do anything crazy with it. You don't need to make a special trip to get water. Just any kind of water will do. So tea, water, and sugar. And that's really all you need for kombucha. Plus your beautiful SCOBY, your symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. I have given everybody a part of my SCOBY. Yes, they don't look pretty, but you will love it. You will name it. You will want to show all of your friends it. You're going to be so proud of your SCOBY that you grow once you start doing kombucha. Every batch you brew will grow another SCOBY. And I'll talk more on how to split your SCOBY and start a SCOBY hotel in another video. You will not have to worry about that for probably 5 months. You need your SCOBY to get big and healthy, and I will talk you through splitting your SCOBY or saving SCOBY in a hotel for later. Let's talk about the vessel you use. I have given you a 1-gallon fermentation vessel, just all glass. But if you think about it, if you're drinking a lot of kombucha or people in your family are drinking kombucha or you're giving it away, you might want to then maybe start another gallon and then have 2 going at once, because really you'll always save a cup, 2 cups from your batch for the next one. You're not brewing it all the way to the top. You're kind of doing it at the lip, the widest part. So let's take away a cup and then some starter fluid in your SCOBY. And then you're probably getting about 5 bottles out of your kombucha, which will then last a week. And eventually you will. Your house will be warm. It'll be turning over batches every single week. Maybe not right away. Like I said, your first batch might take 2 to 3 weeks. So your first fermentation vessel, you want to make sure it's glass. When I was brewing in my big tanks, they're Italian stainless steel. I just don't want you to get like a cheapy glass from, you know, a chinky store like Hobby Lobby or Home Goods or something, where they have kind of the metal or faux aluminum spigot on them. You want to make sure that it's all glass. I would recommend maybe getting a crock or something from a brewing website. Every brewing website will also have a little kombucha section where they have bigger vessels. But again, if you're just buying glass, a 5-gallon glass, a 10-gallon glass, that'd be crazy. Then if it's all glass, you're totally good. I poured hot water right in here. It's tested for that. So now we have been kind of steeping our tea, make sure all the tea bags are submerged in there. It's been about 7 minutes. Wait a little longer. Let's now talk about where you should store your kombucha. I like to just keep my kombucha right on the counter. Some people might not like that, but you do want to keep it somewhere where it's gonna be warm. It doesn't need to be out of direct sunlight. Some people like to say that, or you might read that, but I think the sunlight, one, speeds it up a little bit. It's not going to be enough sun to like kill your SCOBY or anything. And then the other reason your kombucha could be moldy is because you're not using enough starter. So the starter is what's acidic. That's what's going to make your kombucha, your whole brew, acidic and healthy and a good environment for your kombucha. If you're just putting a SCOBY in, there's no liquid that's making the pH, the acidity of this batch, a happy environment. So then it might mold on top. One way that you can guarantee as a home brewer that your pH is happy is to get a pH reader. I'll link one right here or on this video. It's $9 online, and it'll be a perfect way where you can guarantee that your batch is going to be happy and healthy. After you brew, you pH read it, and if it's 4.6 or under, you're good. Your kombucha is going to be happy. Tea, sugar, happy pH. Let's say you pH it and oh, it's 4.6. I'm not so okay with that. If you do have a little extra, maybe you have a hotel going or another SCOBY, add a little more starter, kind of neutralize or make that a happy pH for your kombucha. You could also add a little bit of apple cider vinegar if you had to, or even like a white vinegar if you had to make it a happy environment for it. If it's lower, that's okay. In your first batch too, because it's getting happy and healthy, you could just go off of taste. It might read a lower pH, but there might be residual sugars in it. You could pH it and it says it's, you know, every day you'll see the pH drop. When I was brewing kombucha commercially, that's what the health inspectors looked for. Consistent pH that was dropping over time. I had to test all my batches and record everything and all of the pH in all of my batches to ensure that it's not at that like hazardous level where bacteria growth could occur. So if it's under 4.6, you want it ideally 4.2, which once again, I write on your quick reference guide. If you don't have it, you can email me. So finished kombucha, 2.5 would be like, dang, that's some tangy kombucha. Or, you know, 3.5 would be considered finished kombucha. And your kombucha does want to be finished a little bit sweeter if you're choosing to second ferment it or flavor it, which I talked about. We'll talk about that in the next video, step 2, ferment 2, how to flavor your kombucha. Now that I've been yapping for quite a bit, let's do the next step, which would be to take out our tea bags. Squeeze them out against the container. Get all the tea bags out, nice and easy, nice and cheap. You could do batches and batches of kombucha with 100 tea bags. Now we are going to add our sugar. A little more, a little less is okay. And I found the easiest way is to add sugar to the hot water, obviously, and then dissolve it. I do have a friend, he has never dissolved his sugar. He just throws it in there and the SCOBY digests it just fine. So now, instead of waiting around all night for our tea to cool, one way to speed up this process is to cold crush it, I guess you could say. So all we're gonna do is add cold water to it to make it a nice, healthy, fun temperature for our SCOBY. So one thing too, you can always put the SCOBY and stuff in and then add more cold water. And if it's not right at the lip, then it's okay. But you do want to get as much kombucha out of it as you can. So now the fun part, we're going to add our SCOBY. And I know I write like no jewelry, make sure you have washed hands, but touching it with a metal spoon for a second or jewelry for a second is okay. I am going to show you that I just have like literally, this is a monster. So literally, it's not a pretty SCOBY, but you're gonna put it right in. Make sure it's not boiling to the touch because you want to keep your SCOBY happy. And it might sink, it might rise. It looks like mine's rising, which is okay. But every batch, a new SCOBY is gonna form, and eventually you can kind of get rid of my yucky looking one. So we have the SCOBY in. Don't forget the starter liquid. If you have the super acidic starter liquid, I mean, that's the best, but you could get away with a cup or less. This is, about 2 cups, probably not quite, but that's okay. It's a super acidic one. I know it's gonna be a happy pH. So we're gonna pour that in, add a little more SCOBY in there, and boom, it is right exactly where I want it. And then you cover it with your cloth. You wanna use a cloth that's pretty tight woven, but breathable. A paper towel is fine, a coffee filter is fine. What I gave you is perfect, just a fabric. You do not want to use a cheesecloth. It's too wide of weaves where fruit flies can get in it, and fruit flies will eventually get into your kombucha. But that's why it's important to cover it and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rubber bands, hair ties around it, nice and tight. And make sure that there's no kind of lips in it, because they are sneaky buggers, literally, and will get into it. And what they do is they like lay eggs on the top of your kombucha, and you're gonna open it and they're gonna fly out and you're gonna be like, and that's it. Quick, easy. You can make kombucha in 10 minutes or less. Really just the amount of time to boil the water and steep the tea. And I hope your kombucha turns out great. I am gonna talk to you about a couple other things, but I'm gonna get this out of the way. So the other thing I did think that I wanted to talk to you about was that you don't have to stay on top of your batch of kombucha. So I would keep testing, keep tasting your batch. You could dip a straw in it, you could taste it with a spoon. I would say your first batch is honestly gonna take probably closer to 3 weeks. If it's super happy and healthy, it might be done in a week or 2, but just keep tasting it and testing it. And when it's where you like it, then watch part 2, how to flavor your kombucha. So now let's talk about, let's say you're having a really busy summer and you can't stay on top of your batches, it's too overwhelming. That's okay. Let your kombucha sit. If it's sitting like this for 5 months, that's okay. Let it sit for 5 months. It will be vinegar at that point, which you could do a hair rinse with, make vinaigrettes or something with it. But if you forget about it, all it's gonna do is turn to, well, essentially vinegar at that point. It's gonna turn super acidic and you wouldn't necessarily wanna drink it. You could though. Or let's say you did harvest your batch and it's down here and it's just, 2 cups of kombucha and the SCOBY sitting. Let it sit there. Let it sit there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months. It doesn't matter. You don't need to babysit it. It'll be okay. If it goes to vinegar at that point when it's totally done, then that's okay. You're just gonna have a strong enough SCOBY starter for your next batch. Don't get rid of your SCOBY. I wouldn't ever put your SCOBY in the fridge because it's cold and it will stop or maybe kill it. It might just go dormant. Sometimes you might have luck reviving it. Just keep it on the counter. This is where I'm keeping my kombucha nice and happy here on my counter. warm enough, not really in the sunlight, but it'll be warm and happy here. Make sure my rubber band's on, no fruit flies are getting in there, and I will taste it here in about a week, see where it's at. You'll notice a new SCOBY will form over time right on the top. Like I said, a new one will form every batch. A new pellicle, sometimes they call it, will start forming. If yours is sinking, a new one will form and start pulling up the old one. So then you'll have a new SCOBY that you'll keep in there for your next batch. Kombucha really, honestly, is so not stressful, so easy to make, and so cheap to make. And you're gonna feel more confident the more batches you brew, and you're gonna try and be convincing your friends to brew. You're gonna be wanting to give away your SCOBYs and convincing your friends to start brewing their kombucha with your SCOBY. You're gonna say, it's so easy, do it, do it. But I know how you feel. I know the feeling of overwhelm that you have, and really, it's so hard to mess up. I recommend getting that pH meter. They do make strips too that you can test in, but if you don't even wanna spend that $9, then just tasting it. Tasting it, you're like, oh, like right now, the batch we brewed, taste it. Taste it right now. Put a straw in it, dip a spoon in it. It tastes like sweet tea. And maybe right now, yeah, do taste it. So then over time, you can really have a good gauge at how the pH drops. It's gonna be subtle, but you're gonna realize that it will get tangier over time. All right, everybody, and that's how to brew kombucha. Really, it's so easy. Stay tuned for my next video on how to flavor your kombucha. I'll have it ready when your batch is ready. If your batch is ready sooner, then you can just drink it straight up as original kombucha. A lot of people do that. It takes away the whole F2, ferment 2, which is flavoring. And I think doing it all in one video might be a little overwhelming to people, so I'm gonna split it up into two. But this video only covers the fermentation 1, how to brew your kombucha. Stay tuned for part 2. Bye.